understand the diverse array of payment methods in international trade. This question is not merely academic, it's a practical necessity for anyone involved in international commerce. Grasping these methods can mean the difference between success and failure in global business dealings. Cash in advance, or CIA, is a method that involves the buyer paying the full invoice amount before the goods are shipped. While it's a safety net for sellers, it does place the buyer in a vulnerable position, as they're essentially paying for a product they have yet to receive. The advantage for the seller is clear: the guarantee of payment before the goods are dispatched. Secondly, there's the letter of credit, or LC. This is a formal document from a bank assuring the seller that the buyer will pay provided all requirements outlined in the letter are met. It's a bit of a balancing act, as the seller isn't paid until all conditions are satisfied, which can be quite an intricate process. Then there's the documentary collections method, or cash against documents. This is when the buyer pays the seller after obtaining documents that prove ownership of the goods. The funds are essentially held in escrow by the bank until the necessary documents are received. It's a method often employed when the buyer and seller are unfamiliar with each other, or when the buyer seeks to guard against the risk of non-delivery. The open account method is another option. This allows the importer to delay payment until after the goods have been received and inspected. It's typically used between trusted partners with a long-standing business relationship. However, it can be risky for the exporter due to the possibility of the importer defaulting. Lastly, there's commission sales. This method doesn't provide payment to the seller until the buyer sells the goods. While the seller retains ownership of the goods until they're sold, it's important to remember that the buyer has control of the goods in the meantime. This can be a risky method for the exporter, as it relies on the buyer's ability to sell the goods to receive payment. And drawbacks. There's no universal best method for all international trade transactions. The optimal method is one that caters to the needs of both buyer and seller while minimizing risk. Generally, the safest method for sellers is cash in advance, while the most favorable for buyers is commission sales. Choosing a payment method that reduces risk and boosts bargaining power can help secure the best possible terms for both parties. It's vital to understand the different payment methods available to ensure the most beneficial choice is made. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the world of international trade, it could mean the difference between profit and loss.